Good morning, all. Thanks, Nicola, for that. I'm Alex. I'm one of the key account managers here at Wealthtime, and I'm going to talk to you through a few of the key processes. To start today, I will be explaining the BED and ISA process for linked wrappers, so you have a clear understanding of the online submission process. Full clarity, linked wrappers refers to GIA and ISA wrappers that are connected within Advisor Zone, allowing funds to be switched easily between them through the online process. Linking is an internal process and not something you can do through Advisor Zone. In some cases, you may find your client wrappers aren't linked. For example, joint GIAs may not be linked to the client's ISA wrapper, but I'll explain how to process a BED and ISA for those scenarios at the end. And a quick reminder, if there's enough cash available in your client's GIA, then the deadline for this process is Wednesday, the 25th of March. If you need to place sales, then please do this by Thursday, the 12th of March. This online BED and ISA process allows you to move money from a client's general investment account into their stocks and shares ISA, if the wrappers are linked, as I said. The process can be completed in Advisor Zone as follows. Log on to Advisor Zone and locate your client. Select the View tab to bring up their details, or as shown here, select the Top Up from the Transactions tab on the first screen, and then select the client's ISA wrapper on the next screen. This brings up the ISA top-up journey, a quick and simple 6-step process. If we bypass step 1, which is the optional nickname, step 2 displays the optional investment types. And you can check whether the client has a linked GIA wrapper by selecting the Transfer from GIA, as shown on screen here. This process supports sales from a single GIA wrapper. However, if you're transferring from a linked joint general investment account, a pop-up reminder will appear advising that sufficient cash must be available in that joint GIA wrapper. If there isn't enough cash, you will need to complete a switch to cash on the joint GIA outside of this process before proceeding. Once transfer from GIA is selected and the client is linked and the client's linked GIA account is chosen, the page shows the total GIA wrapper balance and allows you to enter the amount to move into the ISA. If there isn't enough cash in the client's single GIA, this is where you can make additional sales, either proportionally or by selecting specific assets. Then add any initial charge if applicable. On to step 3, that gives you the option to add a regular withdrawal, and step 4 relates to any ongoing charges that will pull through from the existing, as remember, this is a top-up. Step 5 displays the current default investment strategy and allows you to keep it as it is or change it for the top-up. And finally, step 6 generates all required documents, including the pre-sales illustration, the client report, and the application summary. If you've requested a sell down from the GIA, then a switch document will also be produced to reflect the details you've entered. And please note that these documents are just for your records only. Nothing needs to be sent to Wealthtime. And once you're happy with everything, then you can submit the request to complete the process. Now, I'll talk you through the process for clients who have a GIA that isn't linked to their ISA. This is common for joint GIA cases or where perhaps a relative is contributing to the client's ISA. It's also worth noting that the same process applies when moving money from a client's GIA into their uncrystallized SIP. So first, select the client's ISA or SIP that you wish to top up. Instead of choosing the transfer from GIA option, as we did before, select the single option from the list and enter the investment amount you wish to move. Complete steps 3 to 5 as we did before, and then you can submit your request. Once submitted, please send us a secure email with clear instructions asking us to move the money from the client's GIA account to their ISA or their SIP wrapper, depending on what it is. Make sure to include the wrapper numbers, the amount, and confirmation that the funds are in cash or that they have or are being sold down via switch. And that completes the process.